and the French Joan of Arc. I speak a lot about Joan of Arc, not because she's French, but because she did what people did not expect of her. I was telling this morning to people who listen to me, the fact that she drove out from France, the Brits, this is management. This is a little story. This is not the greatness of the lady. This is management. You have a goal, you go for it, you achieve your goal. It's finished. We call this management. What's the leadership story of Joan of Arc? The leadership story is much more interesting. The leadership story is a story of a girl who is changing the heart and the minds of millions of people around. She's educating them. She's transforming them. She's giving them hope. She's telling them you're not anymore human beings. Man, you stop being man. It's time for you to remember that you have to be a man. Stop pray. Do. Move. Practice the human virtues. At that time, the French people were, humanly speaking, collapsing. That lady who had a message from God came to them and didn't tell them, I have a message from God for you. No. She came to them. She told them, stop being what you are. Help yourself. And God will help you then. When she was in Poitiers and they asked her, these were monks, very nice monks, who were thinking, well, John, tell us more about your story. You're telling us that God wants to drive out the Brits from France, but why does he need an army then? If he wants to throw them out, he can do this in 1 second. And the answer of Joan was very clear, very human. We will fight. We will fight. And he will give the victory. She was always on the human level. Help yourself, and God will help you then. She was restoring the human. That girl who came with the supernatural instinct was restoring the human, not the supernatural, the human in human beings who had stopped being humans. She transformed a whole country in a few years by an example of human virtue. And what attracts in Joan of Arc is not the supernatural aspect of her life. What's extremely attractive, it's the human, it's the person. It's the human virtues that she's being practiced with an incredible simplicity, with 17 or 18 years of age, at the highest level. And this is what touched the hearts of millions of French people. It was not her divine mission. It was the example as a human being, the example of her human virtues, of her courage, of her magnanimity, of her simplicity, that changed the heart of all these people. This is the leadership story, and very few people speak about it. They used to speak about the divine mission. This is, for virtuous leadership, not very interesting. It's management. But the leadership side is extraordinary. It shows us what I was telling you before. We need to build the spirituality on the powerful ground of human virtue. This is what, in the end of the day, virtuous leadership is about. It is about educating people so that they can develop those human virtues they're lacking